So today I'm showcasing KickEm 2, the sequel to my last game, and I'll show off the various features that it has. So as you can see, you can kick. That's your main damage ability, which is just a melee kick that can kill the blob enemies here. Now you can also you can run, jump, and then there's a falling animation, and you can swing on vines. So one of the second attack that you have is a drop kick, where you don't take damage for the duration of it and rather deal damage to the enemy. So those are two of the three attacks, and there's also several static entities like water here, where you slowly move up and down. Now each of the enemies has a sightbox entity attached to them that follows in front of them and alerts the enemy if it sees you. Here's some lava that if you jump into will slowly decrease your health until you die. And again, there's several ways to run around the level and to try to be the most efficient in your navigating through it. So here I'm kind of sneaking behind some of the enemies in order to kill them. And then here I'll show my my third and final ability, which is where you summon this energy orb type thing, and you can launch it at the enemy. And it explodes in this particle thing right there. So this energy orb will explode whether it hits a wall or an enemy, or basically anything that could be constituted as it exploding. Just run through the level real quick. So as you can see, I have a parallax background for this level as well, which has a bunch of mountains in the background, each at different layers, so they have the 3D sense where, for example, this mountain doesn't move very much and shows that it's much farther away, while this one moves very quickly. So the game comes with a lot of different textures, like the stone here, the background stone, and broken background stone, and then it has grass and dirt as well. Now you have 5 health in each of your levels, and if you die, you have to restart it from the level. But once you go to the next level through this portal here, you restart at 5 HP. So now this is an ice level, and you're supposed to be on a glacier of some sort in this sense. And so the parallax background here, as you can tell, is multiple cloud layers. So this is a very high up glacier, kind of almost a mountain. So this level incorporates water a lot more, and you'll have to swim down and fight some enemies down here as well. And you can do many of your different abilities down here too. Oops. So I could kick this and it would explode into the wall, and you can see you can swim up and down. Now, like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can go through the level. So one is swinging up here and continuing forward. Oops. Again, I'll just run through the level again. So the impressive attack is supposed to be the energy orb one. And what else? Enemy static was the lava. All the artwork is created myself. I created it through Asaprite. It's not a free pixel art thing, but it's very helpful and I enjoy it. So yeah, I created the ice, the player, the blob, all of the textures, and the parallaxes. Now the final level here, you're in kind of a hellscape where there's all these crazy mountainous things in the back and spikes from the ceiling. The whole level is meant to feel very like Doom-like. The game. It's also much harder than any of the other levels, so I might die several times. But this was intended to be a challenging level. So as you can see, each of the enemies can be customized where their sight boxes could be very large. So I have this like little hill area where all the enemies rush you at once. Now I have a fake collision box up there so that you feel like you're about to jump on the vine, and then you get knocked down here and have to deal with this difficult little area. And finally, the level ends with a boss battle in which you need to fight off this lava serpent type thing. And it has two different type of abilities, one where it attacks like it just did, and then one where it drinks lava and spits it back out in the ceiling. And then it all starts raining down, and you have to try to dodge it, and can deal damage to him while you do it. And I just died. So as you can see, he comes for an attack here, and when you hit him, he runs back. And you can continue doing this. If he reaches you, he does 2 full points of damage. And eventually he should go drink the lava in order to start spitting it back up. Okay, so he's drinking, and then if we go up to the top, you can also go on these vines just for some added strategy. So he spits up all the lava, and you can deal damage to him this whole time. And yeah. So let's see, grading. So these, all of these levels support my story. The first one was the story. My personal experience is traveling around with my family when I was younger, and we used to go on a lot of vacations overseas. So the first one was when we visited the Himalayas when I was around 10. So that was the level there with all the mountains and stuff like that. So the idea is that to get to the end of the level is like to get to the next vacation, which is all I could wait for. So the second level was when we took a cruise in Alaska, and we got to go on a glacier and walk around, like go on the cruise ship around several of them, and it was one of the most beautiful things. So I wanted to show that in this game. And then finally, the last level, this one was on my trip to Texas, where it's just a desert wasteland, and yeah. So that's the game. So one last thing was the how this goes beyond the book and tutorial. So I feel like the energy orb definitely goes beyond, and also several of my abilities like drop kicking. And so like when you drop kick the energy orb, it launches it even faster, and so that's one way it goes well and beyond. The vine swinging is definitely well and beyond. It took me a while to get the velocity right and stuff like that. I feel like just in overall complexity and size, the game is much more than the book had, with all the different textures and levels and parallaxes and enemies. How else it goes beyond? The fact that you can, there's swimming and lava. The boss at the end definitely is a big part of how much more complex this is than the game. Than the book's game. And also just the AI of both the boss and the blob enemies are a lot more complex than what I saw in the game. Like how the blobs come at you, and then also the serpent for a long time was getting stuck on a lot of the different boxes. So I had to add in a lot of like basic AI so that it, for example, it doesn't get stuck. It goes around that 3 blocks up there thing. So yeah, I think it's a good bit more complex than the book.